Alright, so we're going to be doing a Let's Play of Veronica X for the PS2. This is actually Resident Evil Code Veronica X. This is a remake of the Sega Dreamcast version of the original Code Veronica. If you ever played Resident Evil, Code Veronica actually comes after Resident Evil 3. As a matter of fact, this was actually supposed to be the original Resident Evil 3, but due to certain decisions made by the game designers and maybe due to the coding of the game, they decided to switch them around for time constraints because they had two projects going on at the same time, from what I understand. And Code Veronica. Veronica is actually the first lady of the Ashford family that actually this game has a lot to do with. If you never played this game, it pretty much, to give it a nutshell, it takes place having to deal with the remains of Umbrella just before Umbrella. Because this is pretty much the most, I would say this is probably the most important game for the original Resident Evil games, because after this game was done and over with, you know, Umbrella was pretty much finished. Even though it pretty much started a little bit sooner, like with Wesker going after Spencer, one of the original founders of Umbrella. And then there was Alexander Ashford, but he was already technically dead, sort of. Or he turned into a mutant by his own two siblings that were actually other mutants. So, Resident Evil, there's a lot of interesting things about it. But anyways, we'll explain it as we go. So, in the Japanese version of this game, there's actually a normal, easy, and very easy mode. These are not in the original version. The Japanese... this is only like in the Japanese version, not the English version as far as I'm aware. I don't know if like the PS3 and PS4 version actually got these later on, but there are similarities, rather. So, that would be... This is also the only Resident Evil game that I know of that actually has a normal mode. There's no hard mode, because apparently this game's normal mode is hard. So, I mean, I can beat this in normal mode, but I'll show you like some of the similarities, like very easy mode. They actually give you a lot of guns and all that at the very beginning of the game, and you don't take as much damage, and I think enemies actually have less health. But seeing how a lot of people don't actually... Maybe most people don't know the version differences.
Biohazard.
Well, check it out. So, this game's not that bad if you know how to beat it, but it's still a long game nonetheless.
The American Midwestern town, Raccoon City, has been completely decimated due to the T-virus outbreak that was instigated by the international corporation Umbrella. Claire Redfield, who arrived in Raccoon City to search for her lost brother Chris, and a rookie police officer, Leon S. Kennedy, managed to escape from the city. But their ordeal was only a prelude of things to come. 3 months later.
Your identification number is WKD 4496. Welcome to your new home.
Her name is Claire Redfield. We caught her trespassing in our Paris lab facility 10 days ago. She apparently infiltrated the complex looking for her lost brother, Chris Redfield, one of the surviving members of RPD's famous STARS teams.
Which is probably the best part. One of those images were also used in the trailer for the game as well, that they advertised in North America, if I remember correctly. So, pretty much we're being prisoner on a Rockford Island, I believe is what it's called. And this is when the T-Virus breaks out again. So, like, all the members of this have, it's really interesting. Like, you know, Capcom, despite all the stuff they get from people, they have a long history of making some really good games. Like, I mean, games that you can beat one time, and then, like, 20 years later, people still, to this day, will play it because of, like, it's just, like, it was really cool. So, she's just looking around right now. She hears footsteps. The jailer's coming back. I think his name starts with an R, but I forget what his name is. So, she's gonna try and hide from him, but he already knows that she's here. So, it pretty much just says use the lighter. Oh yeah, by the way, you get infinite saves on very easy mode. You don't have limited ribbons.
Perfect.
He's out of pills.
Go on. Get out of here. This place is finished. I don't know, it might have been a special forces team. But in any case, this prison's been taken over. The troops are being wiped out.
What are you saying?
You're free to leave the complex. But you may as well know you have no chance of getting off this island.
And what about you? What are you going to do?
Don't worry about me.
Okay, so pretty much the idea is that, okay, like the T-Virus is already broke out on this island, and he doesn't really think that she can get off here. And I'm going to show you a cool glitch. You don't need to do this glitch to beat the game, but this actually can. You might be familiar with the infinite ammo and the infinite herb glitch, which allows you to essentially have infinite uses of like a particular item. And I'll be honest, when I played this game, I actually used it just because I really wanted to enjoy this game. Like I sat down and played it, but you don't really need to do it though to beat the game. I mean, obviously, otherwise. And here's something else. Don't make the same mistake I did. But here's the combat knife. I actually found this out the hard way when I forgot to grab it. I don't know, I ran past everything, but actually a good idea to equip it. So the jailer is actually, you know, these pills actually are part of a side quest later on. Another one of the hardest things about this game is getting the A rank for this game. In the Japanese version, it's the S rank, but it's actually a lot easier than you think it is. So here we have, he's just pretty much taking it easy. So what we have to do is we got to go out this way. Now, the controls might be a little bit different. If you hold up on the analog stick, the left one, whatever direction your character runs, that's the way they'll run, regardless of whatever the camera is panned at. And if you want to turn around, if you want to do like a 180, you know, you press X across and then just kind of hold the analog stick back. And then here's the ink ribbons. But since we have an infinite number of them, the game isn't going to go back. Now, I'm going to save over my previous save file because it doesn't really, there's no New Game Plus, so I'm going to tell you this right now. Hoarding ammo, if you're thinking about carrying it over on another playthrough, isn't really going to do you any good. But at the same time, though, having it near the end of the game is actually a good idea, too. You know, so use your ammo, but, like, at the same time, though, don't use all of it. You know, because there are some items that are better off being used later on in the game, and I'll show you which ones those are. So, there's a combat knife. Oh, actually, maybe not. Lighter. I would say the reason why a lot of people say that this is probably one of the harder Resident Evil games is because there's a lot of stuff that can go wrong. There's a lot of, so yeah, you can see her climbing up the stairs. Yeah, you can still see the stairs. I mean, it's not a hard game if you know what you're doing, but at the same time, though, this game's got lots of... We've got a lot of problems. Okay, so we're in a graveyard right now, believe it or not, and here's just to kind of show off the map. You actually have to go around the outside, and then kind of around. So it's kind of like, and then you're going to encounter some zombies in here, so... So here's our first zombie of the game. Actually, there's going to be a few more that join in. I'll be honest, you gotta run straight. I think the game puts you on the other side of the room, and then that's where the, door is. So you just gotta run straight. So, like, right over there by the gate, you can see it in the background. That's where the, exit is coming from. There's no items in here right now. Oh no, he's naked! But yeah, just shake them off if they latch on you. Just run straight. I think if you run to the right after you run past the first zombie, kind of hook a right, and then like you'll miss them. He'll miss you. Okay, there's nothing in this. Well, no. Yeah, this is where you meet Steve. Steve's a minor character in the game. Get the gun.
Wait! Don't shoot!
Who are you?
Huh? You're not a zombie. Oh, great! Wait right there. I'm coming over.
Coming over. Steve!
Sorry about that little misunderstanding, but I thought you were another one of those monsters.
Shut up. Make one wrong move and I'll shoot.
Relax, beautiful. I said I was sorry. My name's Steve. I was a prisoner on this island. And I'm guessing you're not from Umbrella either.
No, I'm Claire. Claire Redfield.
Claire. Nice. I'll remember that. Hey, I hear there's an airport around here. And once I find it, I can finally escape from this crazy island. I'll see ya.
Hey, wait up.
I don't want you following me. You'll only slow me down.
So yeah, he's gonna run off. Now, technically your gun can actually hold 15 rounds, but she fired a couple of them, so it makes sense that there's a few missing. But, I forget. Okay, so, trying to think if there's any items in this room. But anyways, the way Resident Evil works... I went the wrong way. I'm gonna go back to the same room I was just in. So yeah, those zombies aren't right by you. I think most of them disappear by the time you, there's only 3 of them in there now. But, Resident Evil is, it can be a hard series if you don't, know, what to do and stuff like that. This game was actually, I'll be honest, this game actually kind of threw me off for a little bit. Like right here, for example, this is the first key item that we come across. But we don't have the the key item to go through this door. That's actually to escape into the next area. There's actually 5 areas in this game. There's the prison, which we're in right now. There's the training military quarters. There's the palace residence. There's the Arctic base, which is the last area, and then there's the Arctic base is the last one, and then there's the airport, I believe, is what the last one was. But yeah. So here's another door. This door's locked, but there's a door on the other side, but we're not allowed to go over there yet. And then if we go over here, here's where the herbs are. And I'm going to show you how to do this glitch now. Okay. So, the way Resident Evil works is, believe it or not, this is... It's going to be a little bit harder. But, like, it's a little bit more complex than it sounds. Okay, so this is the reading manual, the player's manual guide. And I know Japanese too, so I can help you out with it. So what you want to do is you want to take Claire's handgun. Well, so what you want to do, you want to equip the handgun, but you want to make sure the item you want to duplicate is right behind the item you just equipped. And so what you're going to do, you're going to exit the screen. Actually, I don't think you have to do that. You have to go into the menu, or the manual manually, and read it. Because here's the way the glitch works. Okay, so right now the gun's equipped, but if I go and equip it through the item selection, or the item screen on the right side, then it equips the manual and deactivates, and it unequips the gun. However, if I do it this way, the gun's still equipped, and and then the manual disappears. So we're gonna go to this blue file, read the manual, disappears. And now you're going to notice how up there, right there where my finger is, you're going to see how the item is now in the inventory screen. But here's the funny thing: if we exit the game and then fire one round, or the item map, I should say, I now have infinite uses of this herb, and no matter how many times I use it, it's still there. So that's just a interesting glitch that somebody came across. Okay, so now we're gonna go into the first area of this game. This is where we gotta go. There's a couple zombies in here, and I forgot he's that close, so that's my fault. So, this is the first area. There's like a couple zombies in here. Sometimes you gotta watch out. Sometimes they'll drop dead and they won't really be dead. There's some handgun and ammo. Maybe on the side. Grab this. I always think it's easier to reload by just like just going into the menu and doing it, because that way you can. And here's a map for the entire place. Now we know what this entire place looks like. So, if you go up here, there's another herb up here. Now, so that way you don't lose, what you want to do is, if you're going to clone items, or you can only do it with one item, but you don't want to clone the herb that you just cloned, otherwise it loses its potential, unless you want to like combine all of them into one, and then do the glitch. So like right here, here's the infinite herb right here, and then once I use this herb, this one just disappears. So that's just to kind of give an example. So there's a door, is it right here? Yeah. There's a couple zombies in here, and there's also a machine gun in here you can get. Come flying through the window, I believe. Okay, here is a memo kind of explaining like what had happened. There's like one of those hidden files you find in Resident Evil that kind of gives off like a little moment. There's somebody banging on the... You hear something banging. I think there was more ammo in here somewhere. Right here? No, I guess not. Okay. Yeah, there it is. See, he's banging on the window. You see him out there. Now what you want to do is just kind of give yourself some room here and then just shoot him down. Wait for him to get up. See, the problem with this is sometimes you can't see what you're aiming at because the lighting is not really that best. But this was just something that really made the Resident Evil games interesting, like back in the day. And here's another machine gun you can get. So that'll be there for you if you're interested. But anyway, just knowing like how many enemies there are and actually playing this game more than once actually helps out a lot too. So okay, so here's some more ammo, some handgun ammo. And then you have nothing over here. Things right there. Okay. So, what you want to do... I think we gotta leave the premise now. Yep, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for this little area. Oh, there he is. How you doing, bro? Now he's dead. And you don't have to come in here. I don't think you have to come in here at all, actually. But he's dead. For now. And then there's gonna be, something underneath the walkway here. There's a dead body. And it pulls it under the... Just a couple of dogs. There's a door right to your left. So, it's kind of easy to miss. There's some lighting issues. Let's see where he's at. Because the thing is, you gotta know where the zombies are at in this game. You gotta kind of like let them show themselves first. And then you can kill them. The knife is also pretty powerful in this game. He's not gonna be able to open that cage yet, so... There's another one right there. Yeah, he's walking around. He's walking around. Okay. So, hit him several times, he'll drop dead. And then... Okay, so now we're gonna go inside this door in here. Now you're gonna hear zombies.
Deposit any metallic items you have in the security box.
Okay, I'll be honest. This was a puzzle that threw me off for the very first time playing this game. And here, if you don't notice, you're gonna see how there's like some items that were already incorporated in here. This isn't the item box. This is a security box. So this game kind of gives you some other items. So you can't put the herb in there. I don't think it lets you put healing items in there. It's only like weapons. You also have to put the lighter in there. Okay, so now the it's gonna go a little more. Okay, so you're gonna come in here, so it doesn't go on lockdown, and you have to keep opening and closing them. Okay, so this is important right here. This is activating the enhanced 3D scanner. Okay, it says please place the material you wish to have scanned on the scanner portion of this machine. Okay. So, but the thing is, though, we don't have any items to do that. And then there's another item right here that duplicates it, sort of. So this will kind of... Here's the first aid spray. And then here's another memo just kind of showing you how to use the 3D copying machine. So there's that. Here's some acid rounds. I think there's only one of those, like, in the whole game. The game that are used, it's gas they use against bow weapons, or for bow creatures, you know, like BOW. I forget exactly what it stands for, but, you know, like if you ever played this game, the linear launcher takes care of Alexia. You know, she's a bow creature. After she injected herself with T-virus. Again, assuming you've played this game, you probably already know what it's about. But,
Please deposit any metallic items you have in the security box.
it's important that you come back for these items later on. Like, otherwise this place goes on lockdown. Once you open up this place, like I said, don't use any of the grenade launcher rounds and all that other good stuff. Just save those items, because there's going to be a part later on where you're going to really want those items for certain enemies. They're just a pain in the ass to kill with anything else. So it's always a good idea to just kind of... And this is like an umbrella fax. Talks about the TG01. It's a key item we need. It talks about how we gotta clone it, break it, but where to find it at. And then here's Steve.
Chris Redfield.
What are you doing here?
Chris Redfield. Is he a relative of yours or something?
You mean my brother?
Ah, your siblings. Well, it seems your brother is under surveillance by Umbrella.
What? I've got to contact Leon and tell him to let my brother know he's being monitored. It's a good thing I have access to an outside connection from here.
Well, that file shows the latitude and longitude of this place. Why don't you send your brother the coordinates and ask him to come help?
Thanks. I'll do that.
Hey, I was just kidding. There's no way he could get here, even if he is your brother.
Yes, he can. I'm sure of it.
No way. He won't come. You'll just end up disappointed if you rely on others. Believe me, I know.
What was that all about?
Yeah, there's some more story. This game takes place after or before Resident Evil 4, and you might remember how Leon kind of talks about how, like, 1998, he'll never forget it, was the year those grisly murders occurred in the Yark Lane Mountains. And he starts talking about how Umbrella's past fell, and they start showing, like, a lot of flashbacks of, like, the other Resident Evil games, when Raccoon City got nuked and all that, and all the residents. Here's some more ribbons. So we can save the game again. It's just interesting. So Leon Scott Kennedy gets his own game after this. One does, and